So let's get on with my next example. This is Ross Edgley. Ross is a good friend of mine. He's been on the show 3 times. And Ross recently swam around the United Kingdom. Let me repeat that. He swam around the entire island of Great Britain. And if you don't live here, then you probably don't understand. It's big as hell, okay? It's not really an island. It's kind of like a little mini continent. And the fact that Ross thought he could do it and then did it and executed, I think it took him about 4.5 months to make it happen. But in the process of doing so, he got this thing called rhino neck, where his wetsuit was just ripping his neck. He had to swim twice a day without fail, according to the tides, and the salt water was getting in the wounds, and he has scars to this day. But Ross was all about the concept of putting up together a game plan and then never quit. For Ross, it wasn't the question of if he was going to make it around Great Britain, it was when. Is it going to be 4 months, 4 years, or 40 years? Ross was going to make it happen either way. And this really helped me when I did my Ironman last year, because Ross had given me the advice that he got from the Royal Marines here in the UK. And they said, when you go to accomplish that goal, tell yourself, I'm going to finish regardless. It's just a matter of time. And that's the way I started my Ironman race. When I got to that start line, I thought to myself, I'm going to make it through this 70.3 miles, because that's what an Ironman 70.3 is. And it doesn't matter if my crew flies back to London, but I'm going to sit there, even if it's on bloody stumps, I'm just going to drag myself across the finish line. So once you do that, then it's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. And then I went ahead and I felt really empowered, and I did it in just under 6 hours. And so I think that's a great way of looking at some of these goals. So let's listen to Ross and find out what it was like to focus on the process and to get this swim done.
But if you want to cry into your pillow and feel really sorry for yourself, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But I logically sat there and was like, if I cry into my pillow, that's going to be half an hour when I'm not sleeping or eating or recovering. So that's going to have a knock-on effect for the next swim, the next swim. So when I say, did I ever think about quitting? Did I ever cry? The answer is no, but not because I didn't want to. It was because there was no time. Right. And that always goes back to what I did with the Great British Swim. I almost think is this sporting social media experiment, and I wanted to broadcast it warts and all. And I think when people see it, it was so good that with all my experience as a sports scientist, Mother Nature and the ocean just didn't care. So it's like, I don't care about your pacing strategies. I don't care that you're probably feeling sorry for yourself. I don't care that you might have tendonitis in your shoulder, if you keep on saying, I don't care. The tide's gonna change every 6 hours, and that's one thing I can guarantee you. And so that's why when I say I didn't entertain the idea of quitting, it kind of goes back to what I learned with the Royal Marines as well. If you focus on the process, the outcome is inevitable. So never did I think about Margate, never did I think about quitting. All I thought about was putting my face in the water and then putting one arm in front of the other. And if I kept on doing that and the words I quit never came out of my mouth, I knew I'd eventually arrive in Margate.
And what I really learned from Ross is this concept of just never quitting and sticking to the game plan as well. His plan was to swim twice a day, no matter what. And he would sleep twice a day and eat and then just get out there and force himself in the wetsuit. He had jellyfish coming into his face. He had bad tides. He had bad weather. He had boats like almost running him over, but he just stayed methodical every single day and just got the work done and didn't quit. And that's something that Ross will always remind me of whenever I'm going to do something. You can always accomplish your goals. It just means it's a matter of time. And don't quit and just keep at it. And that's something that Ross taught me, and it's something that you can learn as well. And again, I really appreciate these comments coming in. If you're coming here late, go ahead and type in, what is that impossible thing that you want to do? Because that's something I want to help you accomplish today. I want you to dream big and be really, really bodacious in your goals. Marty Asher says, I want to become the highest volume crypto exchange in the world. I love it. And Erasmus says, I just sold my truck to pay for personal development classes and to learn about real estate. It might cost my marriage, but I really want to be a billionaire and change my family's legacy. Look, you have to make sacrifices if you want to get somewhere. And Dan Pena calls it pay price to action, and it's something I talk about in my new book. You have to sacrifice something now in order to get something in the future. You can't have it both ways. So if you have to sell your car or not have any fun or don't go out and spend money going out for drinks or the theater or dinner in order to invest in yourself for something in the future, you got to do it. It's been the story of my life, is sacrifice now for something I want later.
At London Real, we believe that individual transformation can change the world. Join us and start your journey today.